all my favorite people, welcome back to this new YouTube video. My name is Vera and I'm the founder of Via Vera, where I teach people how to sew and make the clothes of their dreams. Dream to open your closet and see clothes that are handmade by you, they fit you well, they are a true expression of your personal style and you're just too excited to wear them. Then it might be a good idea for you to learn pattern making. You don't need better sewing skills. Having a better fit in your clothes really comes to pattern making, and that's where it really changed. If you start sewing, you will use patterns and different techniques to make clothes that you want to make, choose the fabrics and everything like that. But after that, you might be wanting to have more creative freedom in the things that you are going to make and knowing that they fit well and everything in between that. And that's where I want to explain to you 4 ways to create your own patterns so you can decide which way would fit you in the stage that you're currently in, as well as I will explain what my favorite method is to use and how you can try that. First method is the method where we deconstruct clothes. So for example, you have a piece of clothing in your closet that you absolutely love the fit of. It might be a pants, it might be a cute little blouse, or just a detail about a pattern that you really like. Then you might consider deconstructing the clothes. Mind you, you don't have to take out every piece of the clothes and then reconstruct them. You can also redraw them, but that only works with simpler models like This is the easiest way to start with pattern making, because it not only gives you a way to create patterns, but it also shows you how most clothes are made, which gives you a valuable insight in how to construct pieces as well. So while you're deconstructing, you already learned so much about constructing your clothes. What you want to do for this method is take a piece of clothes that you really like, that you like the fit of, that you know that you wear a lot, and then trace it onto your fabric or onto paper pattern. If you want to make small adjustments because you know how they fit, then you can do that. The pros of this method: fast and beginner friendly. You already know that the piece of clothing you are going to make fits you well because you have been wearing it a lot. It gives you a great way of understanding constructions of clothes. The cons of this method is that you can't use it for complicated pieces unless you really tear them apart. But if it is a piece that you really love wearing, then you might not want to do that because you want to wear it, you don't want to tear it apart. It doesn't work very well with stretched pieces. So if you have a very fitted top, then you have to consider the stretch. You can't just trace the pattern one-on-one because they're stretching it. You have to consider that, and that might be a little bit more hard to construct with just using deconstruct. It's not a very scalable method, so you only will be able to use clothes that already are in your closet. So that might not give you the full creative freedom that you want. And if you trace a piece of cloth that already fits, then that will transfer into the pattern as well, unless you adjust that. The second method is the method of using basic blocks or slopers. Having your basic blocks and your slopers is so valuable for creating your own patterns. And if you want to learn how to make your own basic blocks and slopers, then make sure to join my free community via the link in the bio, where I have calls on how to work with slopers. I explain you how to work with them, how to make them and adjust them to make them fit your body very well. So if you want to learn how to make your slopers, make sure to join the community, and I will see you in there to learn pattern making together. This method makes you create a basis for your pattern pieces and actually for your body. It is second skin, so it's really fitted to your body, so you can really upfront undo all the fit issues in your pattern. And once you have done that, then you have the perfect fitted base where you can create from, and that works really well in my opinion. So you really only have to create them once, make a toile if needed, reduce all the fit issues, and from there you can add volume, you can add style lines, you can add gathering, you can add ruffles, and adjust necklines, sleeves, everything that you want to adjust, you can adjust from there. The pros of this method is that it really gives you the creative freedom because you have the base, and from there you can just create whatever you want. You know that it fits your body, it's very fit consistent. So if you made the slopers really well to fit your body, you know that once you're making a piece that it will fit you. You can use them forever, but if your body changes, you can also adjust them because you know how to work with them and adjust them. So you can use them forever, and yeah, it's just such a timeless thing to do for yourself actually. And it is the best long-term method because you can just always come back to the basic blocks you created and then design, and then come back to the blocks and then design something else again, and then yeah, and you do that for as long as you want. There are also some cons for this method. Is you need a understanding of fit and how to make fit adjustments to the basic blocks to make them fit it very well. It also requires more patience than deconstructing clothes, so you really have to put in the time and effort up front to create a good block, and from there you can start designing. You need accurate measuring, so you really have to make sure that your measurements are correct and that your formulas that you use for creating the pattern are correct. And with that being said, you might want to make a toile, which is more time consuming and can be a bit frustrating if it doesn't work out at once, but it will be worth it. The third method is draping on a dress form. This one looks very, very glamorous on Pinterest, and I just love it when people do this. It looks so effortless and so free, and that is actually what it is. It is a very free way of creating a pattern. Use your dress form and then start working with fabric and drape on them and layer it and pin it and draw on it, do everything that you want to create shapes and the forms that you want. And after you've draped it on the dress form, then you want to transfer it to paper, or you want to create a one-off piece. The pros of this is that it is a very visual and creative way of creating. So you directly see what you're doing. Despite for the basic blocks, you don't directly see how it drapes on fabric. And for this method, you see directly how it is draping in the fabric that you want to use. It works very well if you want to create a unique design and a one-off piece, because you can just start pinning and making everything together until you have the shape that you desire. It is great for more artistic and asymmetrical pieces. The cons of this, that because it works so well on unique shapes and one-off pieces, it is very hard to be consistent in it. So to create two pieces that are exactly the same, for example. So it's hard to create a direct replica of what you made. It's not very beginner friendly when you are really getting different shapes and fittings. So if you want to create more hard shapes, then it's not beginner friendly. If you just want to drape it, cut a hole and pin it at some points and then stick that together, then it becomes more beginner friendly. But in the basis, it's not very beginner friendly because you don't exactly know what you're doing. You're more intuitively creating. You will need a very good dress form for this. So you need a dress form that represents your body well to make it fit for your body as well. And it's not ideal for a consistent fit and a long-term wardrobe creating process. The fourth and the last method is drafting from scratch. This is the most technical method in pattern making. You get all your measurements and then plot them out on a piece of paper. You connect all the points together using lines or curves, and that way you create your basic blocks based on your exact measurements. From there, you can start designing. So first you have to plot out all your measurements, then draw the pattern, and then from there you can start designing. The pros of this method is that it is the most accurate way of creating a block that fits your measurements, because you're only using your measurements. It is great for custom fitted pieces. So if you're going to create a custom fit pieces that really needs to be very tailored to your body, then you can use this method. It is super educational, so once you do this method, you will understand pattern making really, really well. So it's really worth it when you're a little bit further in a pattern making process to learn the way of how a curve and a line is connected to each other and how the measurements keep balance in patterns. So once you know how to make patterns, for example, using the basic blocks, and you want to dive deeper into, okay, how does line connect to each other and how does that make a pattern so imbalanced, then you might consider doing this. It is fun to do and it works really well if you want to level up your skills. The cons of this is that it is very complex and it is very time consuming, because you have to create your block first, then you might want to test it for fit, and then you can start designing. It is very hard to visualize a style outcome because the shapes are very straightforward. It can be very overwhelming without help because it looks like a puzzle. Do you remember the drawings when you were a kid where you have to do 1 and then connect it to 2 and then 3, 4, 4, and then at one point it just becomes this web of numbers and lines and shapes and everything in between. So it can become a little bit overwhelming and complex to use. So the conclusion of this is that I would say that first start with deconstructing, so you know how clothes are built up and you create pieces that you already know you love wearing. Then go with the basic blocks. And if you want to learn how to create your basic blocks and then design basic blocks and use them in a way that's very sustainable in creating pieces that you want to wear, then I also have a program starting in March. It's the second round of the program, and I only have 10 spots for that to learn you how to design pieces you actually want to wear, use the basic blocks. We walk through everything together. Yeah, and the focus is to really create your dream pieces and really see yourself wearing like a lot, and you would be very proud of wearing. So if you're interested in learning how to design the clothes that you want to wear using the basic blocks, then make sure to click the link in the description where you can book a call with me, and I will walk you through the whole program and how it's built up, what you will learn, and what the full roadmap is. Yeah, and I just love to connect with other sewists as well. So if you're interested, make sure to click the link in the description or send me a message in the community. You need to be a very good sewist for this method to work. You can easily learn pattern making and sewing at the same time. You will get better at pattern making when you know how to sew, but you will also become better at sewing when you know how to make it works very well together. And then when you are working with your basic blocks and you feel like you want to get a better understanding of pattern making, then you can consider making the blocks from your own measurements to really create the custom pieces. And in between that, if you want to create asymmetrical, like very drapey patterns, then you can use the pattern drafted method as well. And I do have to say that I really like to use is the basic blocks and also use deconstructing from clothes that I already really like, and just see some measurements of the clothes that I like and add them to the basic blocks that I have. So I hope this video was helpful and that you now have a starting point in which you can create your clothes from scratch. You learn pattern making, you start with it a little bit, explore it, experiment with it, and if you have any questions about it, leave a comment. Make sure to like this video if you liked it. I will go more in depth into these methods in upcoming videos as well, and I show you how to use them and how I work with them. So that might be fun to follow along. If you don't want to miss the videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.